throughout FY87. Now he did some terrific deals. One of them was a really great deal. It was a sale of some early 4 subscan LB 315s that he shipped to Nicaragua via Switzerland and Israel. That's called the LB 315 Swissagate. And I think that's probably the reason why he's not here today. But seriously, there is one individual that's been really outstanding in helping us get our product into all sorts of obscure areas. Peru, Thailand, you name it. Unfortunately, he isn't here this evening. It's Chuck Maisland, and I would like to ask Lewis Husser to move forward and accept the award for Chuck. We're really thrilled with all the help that he's presented us with. We also have a few other Down Under awards which aren't quite as significant as that, but they have been for mainly those individuals in the software related areas who have provided us with a hell of a lot of assistance, and I'll just run through the names and they can move forward and accept the award. Whitney Sharkbait Calway. Terry Heinrich, who isn't here this evening, I'd like his award to be accepted by Whitney. Rick Sanford, we have succeeded in installing IBM Connect printers into Australia and Malaysia, which we're very, very happy to say that are running super. Karen Mayday, who isn't here this evening, and I'd also like Jerry Rice to accept an award for Sandy Coty of the Milford operation for us. Thank you very much. I forgot to introduce somebody. I just wasn't really able to understand this. The guy's name is Bill Mullen of Rest and Recreation. That sort of lost me something. I'm introducing now, thank you.
Today for me was one of those good days, bad days. I played golf for the first time in 8 years, and the first 15 holes were bad news. But things started to pick up right after that, and I parred 2 of the last 3 holes. That's when the good news began, and when I got back to the clubhouse, and I think Jack is really going to appreciate this, because I negotiated the contract to fix all the golf carts. People kid us about being R&R and rest and relaxation, and inside the company you know us as repair and remanufacture. But you saw that special advertisement we did in the 60 Minutes commercial, in the 60 Minutes hour in the commercial, which was the resale part of our business. And last year, we did almost $1 million in resale. That's money we sold once and we sold it again. And that drops, we're a small organization. We did $8.9 million worth of business. And because we're so small, a lot of that money drops to the bottom line. So, we operate out of Chatsworth and we operate out of Milford, but we have some eyes and ears that are out there that help us. And I want to recognize those 3 people who do a whole lot for us year in and year out. And I would like the SE managers to come forward and be recognized tonight. Vito Greco, Lynn Myers, and Mike Triana. It says, for outstanding contribution to the RR and R business of Dataproducts for FY87. And I would like to tell you that in negotiating that contract today, I had some help from Vito. He broke the cart, that's exactly right. And he wanted immediate replacement.
Yo, Jack, you wouldn't give me 6 strokes.
John Gilchrist said he had loaner units. Next year, this year, FY88, joining these 3 gentlemen is Mike Hannigan. And do you know what that means? Next year we change our name. You knew us as R&R, and I changed it to RR&R. Next year it's RRR&P, because now we're going to control production between Mike Hannigan and Dennis Lang Benson. So if you want something in the sales meeting next year, talk to me. I did the same thing. I must be from down under. But the next 2 people on the program, these are the golf awards and the tennis awards. Bob McKean and Andy Dietrich.
I won't be very long. I won't be very long because I can't speak like Keith because I don't even understand some of the words he uses. Ebullient discussions, myopic introspection, august bodies of power. I just don't understand that stuff. So I'll make it quick. I'm going to ask Keith later how to spell that, incidentally. I want to thank all the golfers for the first time in 4 years paying attention to what I said, being out there at 12:30. You were relatively well organized, and we had some surprise winners. The golf tournament, due to the fact that we have people who shoot very, very good golf and people who shoot very, very bad golf, and most of it was very, very bad golf. We used a system called the Callaway system, and I think some of our winners may be surprised. For the low net, having only played 2 or 3 times and is so stiff and sore that he hopes his cruise control works so he can get him to the airport, we have Paul Press. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It was Alan Taft. And it's not his fault. For a low net with a 65. Alan Taft. If I put my glasses on, it'll help. Aha! Second low net with a 66, and he's the guy who's sore and hopes he can get to the airport, is Paul Press. third loan net goes to one of the newest salesmen, I believe, in the Dataproducts organization from north of the border, Keith Pitts, with a 67. And now for those who played better than those people played. The Low Gross Award. Bill Willard and Roby Kraft will both testify that I am probably one of the soundest forecasters in the country. My forecast is right on target all the time. And I forecasted Jack Davis to win the tournament. When I got the scorecards, I saw that Jack was a little off, not much. And so I looked at the card and I played the course a couple of times and I said, well now, let's see what could have happened to Jack on a couple of the holes where it didn't go so well. And so I looked at the first hole and he had a 7, and that's not like Jack. So somebody about he was talking in his backswing, so I took the stroke off there. A couple of holes later, he didn't miss by much to start with, you know, and a couple of holes later, I saw where he had a 6, and I said, that's when I heard that cart backfire. That must have been when Jack was in his backswing, so I took another stroke off there. And it's amazing how my forecast worked out. But the winner, the Low Gross, shooting a very fine 82 and beating Jack Davis by 1 shot, and incidentally, Jim Shinholzer's finest round in his career had an 84. Is Ed Miscanis. There has to be a highest score. I don't think we have to tell what the highest score was, but there has to be a highest score. It was close. There were 4 or 5 of you that vied for it very clearly. But in the end, it was our personable gentleman from contracts, Dave Brock, that walked off with the That concludes the golf awards. I do have everybody's individual scores if you want some laughs. I'll have them over at the table later on if you want to look them up. Thank you very much.
I'd like to recognize the 18 brave souls who came out and played tennis today, braved the elements. It seemed like since Graham Tyson retired, the emphasis on tennis has gone down somewhat. So I know you're all still interested in tennis, but club sales have gone up significantly. We also were not allowed any budget to buy awards, so we will give no material recognition, just a pleasure of knowing that your comrades in arms think you did a great job. Anyway, we had 18 people out. We played, because of the weather, we played a kind of subdued tournament. We only played 20 games and we drank about 400 beers. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to recognize the 2 top males and the 2 top females. And what we did with these 4 people was then we had a tournament playoff at the end with the top male against the number 2 female and the top female against the number 2 male. I was drinking beer and keeping score. But that's beside it. The The sad part about this, I kept score and I also had the fewest number of games won. Probably it was more directly related to the number of beers I had. Anyway, I'd like to recognize as the top male winning 17 of 20 games, John Gilchrist. The top female winning 13 of 20 games, Diane Dockrey. The number 2 male winning 14 of 20 games was Bob Lesser. We actually had a two-way tie for second place with 11 games each. We had Lori Birnbaum and, I'll be with you in a minute, Donna Briggs. Lori chose to sit out the finals, so in the elimination of Bob Lesser and Diane Dockrey, they defeated John Gilchrist and Donna Briggs. I'd like to thank those two people for a very nice performance and everybody who showed up. Thank you. Who's next? You're on.
Could I have the team captains come up to the stage, please, for the MVP awards? The 6 team captains. Wait, the order. Can the 6 of you remember this? We're going to do this in order: red, yellow, blue, green, orange, purple.
Reverse order.
Red, yellow, blue, green, orange, purple. So if you'll come up and give your MVP awards, have the person come up and take the award, and then the 6 of you should stay on the stage until excused, okay?
This is a tough one since the red team did so well. But yeah, 6-6. The guy that invented the 666 call and did a few other things for us, Tom Pierce.
At the very beginning of this week, we had a team meeting. It was the first one. I went to all the events, and I pretty much asked for volunteers and participation in each one. That was a mistake. After that meeting, this guy came up to me and said, I'm not going to be very good at any of those things, but I'm with you if you need me. He maintained this attitude all through the week. And I'm giving the award to him, not so much for his contribution in performance, but for his attitude. Dave Cox. Now remember that meeting we had last week about my career in management? Never mind.
You remember what we said?
First of all, I would like to thank all of my team members for participating. It was fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you also. The person I have chosen for MVP helped me fill a lot of the holes during the talent show and the demo off, and I think he was a great sport. So my most valuable player goes to Bill, the Bomber, Bomberito.
MVP award, and I also have some team awards. The person that wins the MVP award. No, sorry. The person that won the Maggie performed extremely well in the athletic competition, not only performed but organized the whole thing and just made it all happen so that we could be number one. And that person is Graham Donlin. I also thought, being that we were in 6th place all week and they were silly enough to listen to my cheer, that we were going to have to give out badges of shame. But when I saw my team in the obstacle course, they deserve badges of honor. And so, I have some U.S. Army badges of honor to give my team members. If you all come up and get your badges of honor. Thank you.
Rather than give out a Most Valuable Player Award, I would like our MVP to be for the Most Versatile Performer, and I'd like Mr. C.L. Keaty to come up here, please. Our second winner was...
To decide who was going to be the most valuable player on the purple team, we sort of had a discussion with a couple people, and it was a hard choice because unlike some of the squads, we had no trouble with volunteers. But there was one particular individual that sort of excelled in several areas, and like at the talent night, we sort of said to him, you know, go up and narrate in the back, and he sort of took it up on himself to come up with that whole routine. Jeff Morey from Supplies.
Okay, if the team captains have followed instructions, they're all still on the stage here. I'd like to introduce Steve Youngblood and Rick Ponzi to come up and recognize the team captains.
We've got a couple of special awards to give out tonight, me and my lovely assistant, Ricky Ponzi. The first one consisting of actually 6 awards for the team captains, and you got one, Rick? Let me show them these people what these guys are getting. This thing is great. You're going to love this. You can put beer on it. You can write on it. You can do anything you want with it. This is for the team captains. The first award is going to the captain of the red team, a personal friend of mine, Mr. Ted Biggen. And from the yellow team, she's cute and she's also a winner of a marketing award tonight, Kathy Nicholas. You can't wear them, Ted, they're just for the tables here. And from the blue team, Mr. Soul himself, Mr. Benny Hawkins. And the team captain who gave out the most awards to her team tonight, Ms. Cheryl Smith for the green team. And from the orange team, that wild and crazy guy, and I think he was trying to get me drunk last night, but hey, what the heck, Tom Ballenbeck. And last but not least, Mr. Larry Farnworth from the purple team. All right. You don't have to sit on these, you can get you on camera. It's strong enough to hold you, everybody sit on it so we can get you on video. Aren't those the greatest or what? Let's have a big hand for our team captain. So you can give up possible. Okay, thanks you guys. You did a great job and you really helped us out a lot. We appreciate it a lot. We have one more special award tonight, and this was chosen by the steering committee to the one single person outside the steering committee who made the largest impact on the sales conference. It's given to a man who wrote and directed the 60-minute video that we saw, Mr. J.P. Jones. JP. And that's it for the special steering committee awards. Committee awards. Thank you very much.
What's your sharing?
We come to our first annual Oscar Award. This award is to be presented each year at the National Sales and Marketing Meeting. The reception of this award will be Dataproducts employee who best exemplifies the JACOG tradition of teamwork, dedication, compassion, and performance. The first recipient of the first annual JACOG Award, Ogster Award, is JACOG himself.